picking back up with dive number 5 here. This was the next day, so this was actually dive 4. This was my last instructional dive for the certificate. You can see the profile there. We did it in the beginning, and then we came to the surface to dump the weights on the side, and then just took a fun cruise around the quarry. So you can see the surface interval there is kind of the differentiator between those two dives. You see more in the videos. So for this dive, the objective was to use a circular search pattern. We went to a grassy, fairly shallow area of the quarry, and he hid the boat anchor in the grass. This was grassy. He was nice enough to tie a neon line to it. Otherwise, it would have been difficult to see. But the whole point here was to give me more practice with tying a bowline around the lift bag and the object. I was not allowed to use the carabiner this time. Which I finally did. Like I said in previous videos, I worked that out on the surface and finally executed underwater, and that was it. So let's take a look at that and some of the other fun things we saw around the quarry. Hey, little buddy. So there it is. This is my first sighting of the famed freshwater jellyfish in this quarry. I've always heard about him, and this must be the time of year for him because we saw dozens of these things. Actually, I think I saw one the day before. I can't remember now if I have footage of that. I think I should. So actually, this is second sighting. Basically, I'm hanging out here waiting for the instructor to hide the weight, hanging out at the petting zoo. And I was just kind of swimming around it and saw this little fella pulsating and decided to make him the star of the show. Into the dive now. Instructor hid the weight, came back to retrieve me, and we're off like a herd of turtles. So he's picking the epicenter. I mentioned in the first in the profile commentary that this was the circular search, and he wanted me using my own equipment this time, so I'm actually using my own reel. So this is where he said to stop and search. So in the circular search, your buddy sits in the middle of the circle and holds a line, while the searcher, in this case that's me, swims around in a circle at a designated length of line, looking for the object. When you make a full revolution, you lay out some more line and make another circle, lay out some line, make another circle, etc. So you keep making these loops of concentric circles with expanding radii until you hit a limit. You know, you run out of air, find the object, etc. Either the buddy in the middle or the searcher can control the length of the line. I told him that I wanted to control the length of the line. I had a bit of a hard time unrolling the reel here. I probably shouldn't have clipped my clip directly on it since that was just getting in the way. So here I'm looking at my compass. I'm checking out which direction I'm facing so I know when I make a complete revolution, because I'll be roughly facing that same direction again. The visibility here is pretty good. In fact, this is about as good as you're going to get at Mermet. And of course that decides how big to make your circle each revolution. It certainly factors into it. You want to overlap ground rather than, miss some spots. He's just hanging. I'm glad he didn't bury the weight or the anchor in the grass. This grass gets pretty thick. He was nice. He even tied a neon rope to it, which I thought might have been better without that, but the whole point of this really was for me to practice my knots, not really find things. He actually complimented me on the surface that I'm one of the few students that actually look around while I'm swimming these search patterns. He said there's been many times where a student has swam right past the object and he doesn't feel like it's his place to find it pointed out, so he's kind of shaking his head underwater as he swims right over top of it. But that wasn't me. I didn't have any trouble actually finding anything. Just tying some knots. So, yeah, looking around. Did I find it yet? Alright, so I guess I made a revolution there, letting out some more line, making my circle bigger. That seemed kind of quick. I wonder if I really actually did make a full revolution. Oh. Yeah, I found it. That's what that was. So I tugged on the rope to let him know I found it. It's not in view of the camera yet, but I'm still upset about that spoon bill. Well, I got a good look at it. I'm sorry you folks did not. That was disappointing. And I'll tell you, I've also had a hell of a time with reels. I need to look up some other videos about how to secure these things. I've had problems with them just coming undone underwater. They happen in Cozumel. They just get loose and start unraveling, and I've just never really figured out how to prevent that. So here I'm just trying to make it as tight as I can. And clip that sucker to my BCD and cross my fingers that it holds. Ah, there it is. So yeah, you can see, that'd be hard to see without that neon line sticking out. And he didn't even really bury it that hard in there. He just kind of dropped it on top. You can imagine if you dropped a ring or something small, glasses, down in this grass, it might get buried pretty easily. Here I am with the smaller lift bag. Like I said, this anchor is probably only about 20 pounds, so not a whole lot of lift required. Alright, what did I do here? I can't remember if I struggled with this knot or not. I don't think I did. I think I finally got this one on basically the first try. Everything just floats in your way. What I would like is a rock to kind of put on the lift bag to keep it out of the way while I'm trying to tie this knot. Because it's just floating in your face and not going where you want. It's just a lot more of a hassle underwater than dealing with it on land. Alright, got the rope looped through the loop bag now. And I'm starting to drift. So I dropped everything. It's like, back up. I gotta back up. Alright. Now, got a good look at some seaweed there. Yeah, I think the theme of the weekend was I had my camera pointed too far down. But head strap is, I mean, look at my hands. I'm using both of them. Alright, you see the left part of the rope is pointed up. That's a good start. And up through the bottom. Over the top. And under the rope. Down back through. Alright, that looks good to me. Let's see if this holds. I think this was a good knot. Got it, baby. Woo! First try. Nailed it. That's tight. First time I got one knot to tie everything together. All weekend. Alright, make sure that sucker's tight. And here comes the harder than it should be task of pumping some air into this thing. Okay, did pretty good there. Check the knot. Knot's good. Let's get some more air in this sucker. And we're going for neutral buoyancy. Oh, missed. Took some bubbles to the dome. Just a little more. Nope. Okay. Decided this was good. And yeah, I have this pocket that I tuck my octo into. And man, it's a small pocket. It's a pain in the ass underwater to get it in there. I usually end up just tucking it in my zipper pouch if I take it out underwater. Oh man, up we go to the surface. This was only about 20 feet deep anyway, or I'd have to check the profile. Yeah, that wasn't very deep. Mission accomplished. Yeah, beautifully executed. His words.
Thanks. Probably got the knot.
Yes.
Need a little more air in here.
Oh yeah, so I wanted more air in the bag. Let's hope some got in there. Alright, that's it. I am search and recovery certified now. That was the 4th and final dive. The rest of the videos in this series are just going to be cruising around the lake, or cruising around the quarry. I finished, the instructor wanted to go for a cruise, so I did that. Got out of the water, and some other folks from the dive shop were doing the same thing, and I thought, well, when in Rome. So I joined them on another hour-long dive or so, and I had enough after that. I love diving, but you do reach a limit. At least I do. Yeah, I think I was just like, damn it, I'm gonna get my octo tucked back into the right PCD pouch. I think that's what I was doing here.
Alright.
Nothing exciting being said on the surface.
Unless you don't want to go for a dive.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, I have a hell of a time securing my backup when I pull it out. Oh. I didn't know you were just going to throw it on there. I thought you were going to swim it all the way back.
That was my original plan, but then I thought, why bother? We can pick this up on our way.
Okay.
And we're off. Just taking a cruise around the quarry. There's a bucket there to the left. I'm trying to think where we are. Somewhere in the shallows. Gotta be close to the petting zoo, right? Watch out for the sticks. Don't want any of your dangling gear to get tied up in there. There's a jellyfish, I think. Yeah, see all these little things floating by? These are all jellyfish. Look at them. I was hoping that illuminated. Instead it washed it out. Oh, that looks okay. Just floating along. I saw a couple of them, poor fellas, get caught up in the whirlpool of somebody's fins. The jet wash of a fin. And they go for a tumble. They're trying to go somewhere. Just kind of drifting along. I did not know freshwater jellyfish even existed. Now I've seen everything. Yeah, as you can see, they were everywhere. This was pretty common. I don't know. This must be the time of year they all come out, because I've been to Mermed plenty, even in during October before, and just I've never seen them, and they're everywhere. You'd think the fish would eat them, but I guess they don't. But yeah, very cool. I found following this guy around. I mean, every time I go to Mermed, I'm usually following ropes everywhere, but he was just kind of freeballing it, freelancing it, it looked like. He must have a very good map of this place in his head, and maybe he was checking his compass. I didn't see it. I don't know. I felt like we were just swimming around, but we'd always happen on points of interest, so I was very impressed with that. I would be totally lost if I tried that. Just cruising along. Looks like we found a truck. Light is not very helpful. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this is. We'll see in a minute though. It's close to the airplane, so made it to that part of the quarry. And this road connects to the plane. We didn't go deep, so that must be... Oh, that must be the... I think it's a dump truck maybe, at like 18 feet. Next to the plane. That's probably what that was. Yeah, he has dry suit on. I had a 7mm wetsuit. But we didn't go deep on this dive, I don't think. Again, I'd have to look at the profile to see how deep we went. But I had a wetsuit malfunction. Oh, this was a swim through, I believe. No, not this. We did swim through it. At the conclusion of my rec certification, I did swim entirely through this plane. That's in a separate video, a separate playlist. Lots of room in there. There was something I tried differently this weekend. I've always been kind of leg heavy, so if I just sit in the water and relax, I start to sink legs first, and that's always been a struggle for my trim and keeping horizontal in the water. Once I start moving, I feel like I do better, but so to try to fix that, I normally wear 14 pounds. I put 10 pounds in my pouches and 4 pounds in the trim pockets. Well, I flipped that. The trim pockets are a little further up on the BCD, so you basically put weight higher up. I think that really helped my trim, so I'm going to keep doing that. It was a lot easier to keep fins up, to stay horizontal when I was futzing around with those knots and doing the searching. And when you're searching, you want to do fins up, because if you start stirring up the bottom, then it's hard to find things. So that was a keeper move. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with that, but I think it really helped. Not much happening here. Just taking a tour of the plane. Okay, here's the swim through. Not terribly exciting, but I don't think this instructor knew that I'm rec certified also, but I was a little surprised that he did that. Maybe he does know. But through the plane, just gotta drop down a little here. Don't want to bang your tank on the top. Executed brilliantly. A lot of space in there. It's most wrecks I think are not going to be that open. Just cruising over the top of the plane here. Don't get a good look at it here. That's actually a helicopter cockpit. That's all there is. There's no wings, blades, none of that. But it's Swam past it. So we're cruising on top of the airplane here. You got a helicopter cockpit is sitting. Apparently Hugh is there. The cockpit's sitting on top of the plane. You can see all the holes in the roof here. Yeah, I think this plane is starting to deteriorate pretty bad. I don't know. I think the day will come when they may want to try to pull that thing out of here. I don't know how they're going to do that. It might turn into a hazard, though, if it completely starts to disintegrate. There's the jet ski. Also on top of the airplane. Catching a lift across country, maybe, like the space shuttle. I don't know. Probably still works. They're made to be in water, right? Somebody probably just did a submarine trick with the jet ski and it got stuck on top of the plane. Holes everywhere. Like Swiss cheese. And here we are, moseying up on the ambulance. Not much to see here. I think there are fake defibrillator paddles in the back. But we didn't really inspect the points of interest that much. We just kind of cruised over the top of them. I don't know. I think maybe he just wanted to stay shallow, stay warm. Or, you know, he's wearing the dry suit. Maybe he was concerned about me staying warm. But I don't know. Just a leisurely cruise around the quarry. Kept this video around solely for the bubble stream. I always like playing in the bubble stream of divers below. But that's it. That's all the exciting things in this video. Not sure where that rope goes. Somewhere cold, you can bet on that. So here we are. I mentioned this earlier. We're just kind of cruising along, not following a rope. I don't think he's even looking at a compass unless he's checking one on his computer. And we're just swimming into open water. I don't know where we're going, but he did, so. Much better sense of navigation than me. And looks like we found a Cessna with a torpedo on the bottom. Pretty sure that's inert. Let's hope so. Not supposed to go playing with underwater ordnance. Is this a Cessna? I think this is a Cessna. Suspended, of course. Looks like it's missing a few doors. Probably not flight worthy. Usually there's fish hanging out in there. I don't really see any here. There's the rope to platform 1. There's my instructor wearing his Chuck Taylors. I'm not kidding, those are actual Chuck Taylors. They're popular in the dry suit community, from what I hear.
Nina, Alec, counting down the big 40 hits on Sirius XM's 80s on 8. Number 19.
Welcome to Jellyfish Row. I actually turned my camera on late. We were swimming past these, and I finally popped it on. Look at them all. They're everywhere. There were dozens of them just hanging out here. Every one of those white spots is a jellyfish. I had no idea there's so many of these things in here. Yeah, you'd think the fish eat them, but I guess they don't. I don't know. But this was, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Billboard Hot 100, way down from that at number 19 this week on the VJ Big 40. Find them count.
I found a barrel. I found 2 barrels with a stick connecting them. That's supposed to be one of those things where you pick that up on your back. I don't know, but they're They're attached to jaws here. This is jaws. And didn't get a good look at it there. That's actually a shark. All of 8 feet down. So we've made a full circle now. We came back to the petting zoo, which is where we started the dive. This is the petting zoo. Called as such because it has these ornaments that you can pet. It is not a two-way petting zoo, unfortunately. You can only pet the lawn ornaments. They do not pet you back. Looks like my instructor told me to wait there. I guess he's going to the top to see where the weights are, where the boat anchor was. Not quite sure what's happening here. I think we're just cruising back to the dock. Oh, there's a fishy. Hey, fishy! Not sure what kind that is. It's got a stripe on it. Must be a striped fishy. This is the shallow part of the quarry. You can see all the rocks. Got some grass growing.